What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Lineman Life. I am your observant lineman, Uche Waneri, here with my co-host, Justin Blaylock.
What it do?
It is Wednesday, hump day. And in the NFL world, there is a very different kind of program going on right now. That is the NFL Combine. NFL Combine is going on. And we are going to talk about our experiences during the Combine, and it's kind of give you a insight on what players can expect, what players are going to be going through, because it's really not the good time, or at least it's not the spectacle that you would think it is. The Combine is actually a pretty complicated and pretty monotonous event that you deal with as an athlete. So we got a schedule here. Let me pull it up for the Combine that kind of shows how things play out. Now, let me know if you guys can see that. I'm not sure how much I need to zoom in on that. Let me just see. No, it's not zooming. Anyways, so this is the player schedule for the Combine. Now, when you look at this Combine schedule, as it goes from February 28th to March 7th, Jesus, was it that long?
I felt like it was just a week back then. I mean, this is like 10 days. Well, you said the 28th.
Was it?
Actually, no. This is like
I felt like it was like 3 days.
Yeah, I felt like it was like maybe 4 or 5 days. Maybe something like that.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a whole week, but I mean, I could be wrong. Forgetting a lot of shit these days.
So, you register when you get there. You do pre-exams, orientations, interviews. So all this stuff on this little agenda sheet is really. It looks like it's a straightforward thing, but it's so very slow. It moved slow as hell for me when I was at the Combine.
Agreed.
And we were both there at the same year. First off, it's in Indianapolis. That's already kind of like we get here. I mean, I was at Purdue, so I was already like there. But I was training in Houston. I was training in Houston for 8 weeks.
Oh,
so
okay.
I flew back up, and I was just like, oh God, yeah, I forgot. There was a record snowfall just like a week ago. But it the Combine, it was the first few days were like the longest days ever. For me, it was just like you go to do the registration and the little like pre-exam, and the pre-exam is like you're at the hospital. Everybody's at the hospital, and we're just sitting there. Like nobody's really doing anything.
Yeah, a lot of hurry up and wait.
You just hurrying up and waiting. And it was crazy because, I had shoulder surgery when I was in high school. So they wanted to look at that shoulder. They had like a list of things that they wanted to look at while I was at the hospital. So they put me in an MRI machine. And I mean, look, this was like back when this was 2007. Like, still in pretty damn good. You're young and spry and in good shape. And they put me in this MRI machine, and they made me hold my shoulder over my head.
I'm getting anxious just hearing you talk about
trauma. Trauma, dude. I mean, you know how like you never know if you're claustrophobic until you're actually like put in a very tight space and just asked to stay there.
I got it bad. So I'm over here just getting goosebumps just listening to you talk about it.
It's the reason why I absolutely hate having to go in to do MRIs. Like I would do anything I can not to have to go in and do an MRI because of things like this. They put me in this machine and they made me stay in this machine. And I swear to you, you try to play it cool at first. I tried to play it cool. My arm was stuck and I was like, okay, soon enough, it'll just go numb. I won't feel nothing. And it went numb for a little while. And then like it went from being numb to being really painful because it was like they give you like the earphones to like listen to music and stuff.
Yep.
But one of the earphones slipped off, and they're like, "Do not move." And I'm just holding there, and I'm starting to sweat, and then my fingers I'm starting to feel it again. My shoulder's starting to hurt.
Oh no!
And I'm like, "Oh hell!"
That shit's
like,
loud.
There was a point.
That machine is loud.
Loud.
As fuck.
It's so loud.
Without headphones, I mean, you can hear it through the headphones and music. So I can't imagine what it must have been like when that one side slipped off.
Oh my God, dude. It was so loud. And but the crazy thing was that I've reached that breaking point. I got to that breaking point at like an hour when they had to go back and redo, like part of it, and they didn't like pull me out for a second. And they just were like, "You got to be real still." And I literally I was laying in that thing, and I was like, "I'm about to snap. I gotta move my arm. I was like, in my head, I was like fighting, like going into a psychotic break.
Yes.
Because I'd already been in there like an hour, and like I'd already been in there over an hour. Just laying.
My God. Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh my God, I'm about to snap." Like I in my head, I like started to like freak out. I was like, "Oh my God, I can't hold this no more. Oh, I think I got an itch. Oh, it's not getting better. It keeps getting worse. Oh my God, I got to get out of here." And, at a certain point, I was like, "You know what? I'm about to move a little bit because this itch is so bad. I have to like do something. I don't care if I fuck up this MRI."
Right.
And I just kind of shifted my waist a little bit. And as soon as I shifted my waist, the lady's like, you got to stop moving. I'm like, "Oh God."
Who made this damn machine? It's like the worst machine in all of medicine.
The MRI machine was made for people who were average human height and size back in 1950. Because there ain't nobody that small. Nobody fits in those things.
And then like the wall is like right here on your face.
Right up on your nose.
I can't do it. Even like with sedation, the whole nine, I cannot get inside of it.
It's so bad, dude.
Like the last few times I've had to go get one, I was like, I'm not doing it without an open machine. And that's
for real. This thing needs.
It ain't much better. It's just like a sandwich. It's still you're still kind of close to it, but at least you can see the outside. I don't know what ruined me is. I don't know if it's like, oh man, I need to be able to move in case something happens. I don't know what it is. But
it's like you can't. It's like when your joint is like when your shoulder, like my shoulder was just stuck over here, also like just straight back.
And I can't. I mean, we're big guys, so I mean, you probably can't go in. You can't even go in like this. Like
we're going in like at an angle. You know what I mean? They push us into the angle, and we're like halfway in the machine. We're like, "Oh, that'll work. We just need his shoulder.
Good enough.
We just need his shoulder."
So, if anyone out there has any kind of 6 degrees connection to like Elon Musk, we need a fucking MRI machine for big people that gets a good image. Because as soon as you go in the open machine, I can't see anything. Oh, tough luck, doc. I'm not getting in that fucking death tube.
For real. We need something for big people. Just everything that you make for regular people, we need to make one for big people.
Yeah, just double the size
so
of
we can fit in this shit. Because, anyways,
sorry to go off on a tangent.
Those,
but that was a scarring memory,
which is fine. It's traumatic. We got to go through it again. But the crazy thing about the combine was that for me, like I didn't do any of the drills. I only did the bench. I did the bench and I did 140-yard sprint. And that was it. That's all I could do. I ended up pulling my quad muscle on the 40. And I was like, that's it. I was like, I'm done. I just couldn't run no more. Couldn't do nothing. So I didn't do shit. I didn't do the L drill, none of that.
Right.
So it was a short one for me. I went straight back to my apartment at Purdue after that. I was like, yeah, I'm out. It was disappointing, but it was also like, ain't nothing I can do about it because now that I look back on it, because look, I didn't get no treatment on that. I just like, I got treatment on it, but I didn't like do any kind of rehab.
Okay.
And to this day, sometimes when the weather changes, my quad will just get on fire. I think I tore my quad on that 40-yard dash. That's what I think really happened.
Going too fast, man. Shit.
That's what I think. I was going. Hey, the day before I ran a 4.88. I was like, I got to get that.
Ooh,
you know how you at the facility I ran a 4.88, the place where I was working out.
Okay, yeah.
Which you're like, okay, that's probably like a step off or something. But I ended up doing a 4.91 and a 4.91 or 5.1. My bad, 5.1 on the 40, and that was like pulling that quad with like 5 yards to go.
Right.
I dove through the line because it just blew out. The tire just went pop. It's like I was riding down 285 in Atlanta. Shit just exploded on me. And so I ended up going back to Purdue, and I had to wait till pro day to really get a workout. And even at pro day, I wasn't healed. I couldn't run.
Right,
I didn't run at pro day neither. I just did like 2 drills. I did 2 O-line blocking drills, and that was it. And I did those at I tried to cover up the pain on my face. I was like, oh.
Yeah, it's probably only a couple of weeks later.
It was like a few weeks later. Quad was fucking.
So
my quad was dead for like another month after that. And then, then I started getting right. But what were your times? You remember what your times were and everything?
Yeah, I think I ran a 5.1, maybe, and a 5.15, something like that. It was about on par with what I was running I was out in Arizona at the facility. I think when I got there, maybe I was like a 5.2-ish.
We go. You always call it 5.1, 5 flat.
Well, I shaved off 1/10 of a second.
Hey.
I was like, I'm not a fucking sprinter. That's not really my game.
Look, with old linemen,
I had a good 10.
I
had a good 10.
Yeah, we talk about that 10-yard sprint. That's what we talk about.
Yeah,
I don't remember mine.
My 10 and 20 was pretty good, but
yeah, it's like hell. If I'm running 40 yards, it's either we score
wrong.
or I'm chasing somebody I'm chasing a pick 6.
Yeah,
one of the two.
Yeah, my top end speed was not that great, but I could get there fast.
Yeah, I can get there quick. I can get from here to there real quick, but I can't get from here to there real quick.
yeah, that's what those little guys are for.
Yeah, buddy. My bench press, shoot, I did my bench. I did 225 25 times, 25, 27. I can't remember, 25 or 27 times. And I was like, good enough. They said, as long as I get to 25, I'm good.
Yeah, you don't want to be that lineman that's in the teens.
Hey, and there's always like a couple that are like 19. Oof. But who else was there when I did it? What's his name? Cleveland, Joe Thomas.
Oh yeah.
Dude, Joe Thomas. Look, this was the thing that I had when I was watching him do his bench. Dude was bouncing that shit off his chest, and they were counting each and every one of them.
Hey,
and I'm just sitting there like, dude, right before him, he was just barely touching his chest, and y'all weren't counting them. Hey, they were like, nope. It's like 3 in a row. Y'all said no to. Those were solid bench presses.
You know the name of the game. He could have
already know.
He could have been like rabbit arms or gator arms. It was going to count.
This cat was literally just, you could hear it bounce off his sternum. I'm like, hey, if they're going to count them, then they're going to count them.
Some guys, I don't give a shit what they bench.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what. Doesn't matter how many reps you do, son.
That motherfucker was so good. Like, I don't care if you can't bench.
Yeah, Joe Thomas was a beast. He was good at fucking
Wisconsin.
He went to Wisconsin. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Why was I thinking Michigan?
Played DN there too. Crazy.
Did he?
I think that's how he got hurt.
I mean, shit. I played DN. I went there as a DN to Purdue as a DN.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to Purdue as a DN. They moved me over going into my red shirt sophomore year. They moved me over.
Shit. Okay.
So, both sides, son. Both sides.
The more you can do. The more you can do.
You already know. But the combine, I mean, and all in all, the combine is not like, if you're a young kid trying to make it into the NFL, if you don't get invited to the combine out of college, that shit don't mean nothing.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything because, they invite what, like 500 people to the combine? 500, 550, something like that?
I was going to guess it was less than that, but
I can't remember exactly.
It's more than it's more guys than get drafted.
Yeah, it's more guys than get drafted. I think it's 500.
So if you don't get invited, it's an uphill battle.
It's an uphill battle, but I mean, some of those guys who don't get invited, it's really a matter of, maybe they really didn't get to see a lot of you during the season, so they didn't. Scouts don't get everywhere, but usually if you're good, they'll find you in some way, shape, or form, whether it be the combine or pro day or as an undrafted free agent. I mean, shoot, there's plenty you can go. There's obviously a long list of players who made it in the NFL and weren't drafted. So it's never the end of the story if you don't get an invite to the combine. You still have there's still going to be an opportunity for you as a player. There always is. At least in the first initially there's going to be a path you can try to get in with.
And there's been plenty combine freaks that couldn't play dead. So
there have been plenty of guys who have blown the combine away and was garbage. And there are guys who got first round status off the combine. And that's the thing. Sometimes these cats get tricked because, they get enamored with the numbers, just like, a lot of people do. You get enamored with the numbers and you think, oh, this guy's you can't miss on him. Yeah, he's fast. He's a freakish athlete, but he doesn't know how to play football well.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you lose on that.
Yeah, not necessarily this game's same skill set. Some things overlap. A lot of things overlap. Yeah. I mean, I'd rather have a guy that's fast as shit than someone that's super slow. But I mean, hell, Jerry Rice ran like a 4.6.
And best receiver ever. How many times you see cats catching him when he caught balls?
Right.
Rarely ever.
He might have ran faster with pads on.
For real.
Most people slow down.
There was a video that used to circulate around on Twitter of Jerry Rice running routes in practice. Whew. Bruh, when I tell you this guy he looked like he ran a 4 flat, 4.3, 4.2. He looked like he was just a speed demon. They couldn't even keep up with him. He was just gone the whole time. Each time he was just gone.
I mean, I'm a Cowboy fan. I've seen plenty of it.
Oh, yeah. Cowboys definitely know about that. Cowboys definitely know about that. All right. Well, let's go ahead. Let's shift gears here. We got some more O-line film we're going to take a look at here. Now, our next O-lineman up that we're going to take a look at, we're going to spend a little bit more time on this one. We didn't get a ton of time with Evan Neal, so we'll get back to Evan Neal later on. But I wanted to keep it kind of moving here because we have Charles Cross, who is ranked as the second best lineman in the draft out of Mississippi State, 6'5", 310 pounds, 5.540 or 5.0540, and has a 91.6 rating. We're going to do the grade system as we have done. Plus minus is going to be the end result on a play after we deliberate on different factors. And then, we'll just kind of break down what we see on the film and let you guys, kind of see what it's like to really understand what blocking as an offensive lineman can and should look like. So let's go ahead. Let's get into it. This is Mississippi State playing against Alabama. So this is actually going to have we're actually going to have a pretty good pretty high level of talent that our guy's going to be going up against. Our guy Charles Cross is going to be going up against. So we're going to look at this. We're going to break it down, take a look at what he's doing, and just kind of give our impressions on him as a player. Let's go ahead and get this thing started. All right. Okay, so this is our first play of the game. He is can you see this arrow? My arrow?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. He's right here. That looks pretty good. But that's the sideline view. Let's take a look at the end zone. Number 67 right here. Okay, so initially, look at his. He's got good. His feet are in the ground.
I like that.
Like he's sets flat. That's what you want right there. For him to set flat. That's actually very good because why do you want that? You want that because look at where this defensive end is lined up.
Mm-hmm.
This defensive end is lined up inside. So generally, the rule of thumb with offensive linemen is if you have an inside shade, you want to set to cover him up. If you have an outside shade, which would be out here, you want to set to cut him in half. That's generally the rule of thumb when talking about blocking angles. You want to give yourself, you want to set to cover him up because if you get an inside move, you want to be able to flatten that down the line and keep him flat so that there's no penetration into the backfield. But if he does a feint and maybe bounces out, you're flat, you're in front of him, you can then get into your 45-degree kick slide there. This here, I mean, this looks really good. Like that's perfect.
I like that.
Right there. That's where you want to be. Look at his hands. His hands are up. I mean, they're not absolutely perfect and high, but they're in a good spot. That's where you want them to be. And as soon as this move gets made to the outside, look at his, like, that's perfect. He's got his feet in the ground. He's getting into his kick set. Now he reaches a little bit with this arm, which, I mean, you know, could be better there. But he's got inside strength. Like this looks.
That's damn good.
That looks really good. That looks really good.
Man, that's
what you want to see.
Damn near textbook.
Yeah, that's damn near textbook.
And I think I like.
Oh, and he's running down the field, baby.
I ain't gonna talk about that.
Plus.
Oh man, what I do like is when one foot moves 6 inches, the other one moves 6 inches, so he stays in a good balanced position. A lot of times you'll see guys like if one foot moves 1 inch, the other one might move 8 inches or something. I'm just making these numbers up.
Click in your heels, damn near.
Yeah, so if you'll either get click in your heels or you get too spread out. In either of those cases, with your heels together, you get no balance. You can get thrown to the side really easily. And if you're too spread apart, it's almost impossible to change directions. So you don't want either of those things. So I like that, when you saw him with, like Uch said, with the flat set, setting inside, it was just 6 inches, 6 inches, 6 inches, 6 inches.
Yeah.
So
keeping his base under it.
Yeah. Great base. I mean, this is pluses around the board for me.
Yeah. Please pluses right there. He's pluses. and it looked easy. That's the thing. It looked like he wasn't even trying that hard. All right, here we go. Next play. Okay. Inside, he's backside on the run, backside on the outside zone or outside toss. I don't know which one they're doing here. Now he's got to get through this shoulder. If he's on the backside here, can't let this guy beat him to the inside. This guard is probably going to give a little presence because this nose is on the far side of the center. So maybe he can put an arm up on his way to protect the center if he gets something coming back inside this way. If not, he'll protect and get up to that backer. Some O-lines will have the guard scoop out this nose and have the center, push up to the linebacker. Mm-hmm. In this situation, I mean, it would be difficult, and this is the problem with college football. There's really not anybody who can catch him. This guy really, you don't want him. He's not going to catch him. That's just not. In the NFL, we would say, hey, block him and block him.
Right.
Block these two. You block these two. You two block these two. You block this guy. And this running back is one-on-one.
You got to make somebody miss.
You got to make somebody miss.
BYOB. Be your own blocker.
Now, see, when he moves back here,
you got a chance.
But you'd have to be going flat as hell, and
you have to be on your horse. You got to pull to get him.
Yeah, basically
as the guard.
Yeah,
I mean, if this is outside zone, I don't like this.
And it's a toss, right? So let me go back.
Even tougher. So nothing to hold this guy. He can just turn and sprint damn near. If you want.
So let's look at our tackle here. I like his footwork here. Let's check it out. He
Okay,
might. I mean, I think that's
step.
actually. I think that's pretty good. You want to get this foot more in the ground. This first step is to set your angle. So that first step should open up the hip to get on to set your angle. So you'd be setting at a 45 degree, kind of open it up. And then the second step, I mean, he's doing it right here. You got to take off. You got to get moving.
Yeah. Whatever you can do to get on your horse.
Yeah, and he gets that backside arm, man. It's a good block. He cut him out of his gap. You know, I mean, it's so slow. It's college. I'm like, come on, run.
I mean, and this is go back to the around the snap. So I mean, this is a 3-4 for all intents and purposes.
Yeah,
they're playing a different technique than 85% of the league is going to be a 4-3. Mm-hmm. So you're going to be facing a 3 technique, first of all. So he'll be shaded on the guard's outside shoulder. And that guy will be rushing up the field harder. A 4-eye is more of a read type player and take up gaps. You know, a guy like an Aaron Donald or something like that. One of these hard charging 3 techniques that's getting up the field. If you take footwork like this, you're probably going to be on his backside shoulder as he's making the play in the backfield.
Yeah. In the league, because, and like you said, the way that these guys will play it, they're going to just play head up and try to sit, and they're going to peek into the backfield. In the league, this guy is going to try and get off the ball. He's going to engage and then just go straight to the ball. Now, once he sees this guard, like a 3 technique sees this guard go away like that, he's going to try and come right off his hip and just fire down the line. And that's where you got to be able to, you know, as a tackle, you got to get that backside arm in. That's the most crucial part of any backside run block, is getting the backside arm in front of the defender to cut him out of the gap. A lot of times, or not, I won't say a lot of times, but you know, when you see a guy get beat on this, it's because he kind of latches onto the backside of the defensive end or the 3 technique, rather than trying to dig him out of that lane. And here he does a good job. He gets his back shoulder in. He gets pressure on this guy. He's pushing. And this is a lane that's open. If a running back
this is great.
Yeah, that's a lane right there. That's a lane. Now, if you look at the rest of the offensive line here, that's a bad, like, what are you doing? You shouldn't take that step. You should be going straight up to this guy now because he went to the inside.
Yeah, you should never work back.
They're doing a tag.
Okay.
Gallop footwork. He's galloping.
Wow, that's ballsy.
Skip pull.
That's ballsy. I've seen that done. I mean, if you're just pulling for one gap over, okay.
Except,
but still, you got to keep that guy inside you. If you're blocking down,
block this side of him to pin him inside.
The fucker can't get across your face.
Yeah, you can't.
Now, granted,
face like
that might be the best player in college football. That's Will Anderson.
I mean, but he took the step inside first.
You're doing him a favor.
Yeah, you're doing him a favor right there, because what you should be doing is you should be taking short footwork here, 1-2, pick him up, put him down, put your hands on him, and then flip your hips up the field and seal him into the formation. That way he can't get out. But if you just, I mean, you make him look like an All-American.
Yeah. You're not giving yourself hardly any chance there.
No chance there. So that's another plus for our left tackle. He looked good on that one. It's always weird for me to see tackles in 2-point stances all game long, like never in 3-point stance. Like, wasn't a big fan of that.
Well, this is the Mike Leach offense, so they're going to be chucking it 70 fucking times a game.
That looked really good, picking up that game, because they game there. Like this is. I want to see this. I really do want to see this. Cat looks pretty good right here.
Yeah, I like what I'm seeing so far.
Okay, his hands are wide, but this was the thing about where he started. Okay, so he feels like he's getting a rush upfield. So he initially started going to the right. Now he's trying to back out of it a little bit. So his hands get wide, which that's kind of a natural reaction. So it's not something that I would like, you can coach that to correct that muscle memory. That's what you got. That was his safety net right there. He kind of opened up his arms a little bit to catch it. But once this declared as a game, he actually stays on, which is a good job. He stays on to make sure his guard gets something, and then he gets back out and he locks him up. And that's pretty good. That's pretty good because I see a lot of college football offensive linemen that can't do this. The guard can't. The guard actually, that's pretty good by the guard by being aware and seeing, because he had to have seen that this player here was, he was jiving here and then he was getting ready to loop out.
Yeah, this guy tougher than it looks, especially for the guard.
It is.
You're never looking at that end. Everyone's going to the right of the play here. He's looking to help on the nose. He starts seeing him. Oh, he's not really rushing. It's basically a kill shot for the end.
Yeah,
because you're gonna get
kill it thing.
Yeah, you're gonna get ear hold most of the time if your tackle doesn't protect you, and he does a pretty good job here.
Doesn't protect you, yeah.
So he could have really. I've got fucked up a few times, catching a game like that where tackle didn't see it so fast.
Because you never expect for a defensive end to be the penetrator.
Right.
They usually aren't. They don't want that.
Yeah, they're not really trying to hit nobody. Trying to play basketball, man.
That was a good job of the tackle being aware to stay on until he felt his guard, because that's what you're supposed to do. Stay on till you feel your guy take him, and then you move, because you've got more time waiting on the looper than he has on the penetrator. So that's a good job right there.
Yeah. And it's a big dude coming around.
Yeah, and then he locks him up. That's pretty good. That's a plus for sure.
Not trying to shake him or nothing.
No,
it's a nose tackle. So he's just probably gonna run you.
Yeah, he's just rushing for contain. Rushing for contain. Not getting a sack here. All right, this is a penalty.
Nothing to see here.
All right, Mississippi State. Let's see what y'all got. That looks like it was offsides again, but okay. Good block. Yeah, this dude is good.
Yeah, I like this.
I like how he's doing
granted, it's almost
now
all four eyes so far. So
yeah.
Maybe not the same degree of difficulty as the cat from Alabama was facing, with the wide 9s and 7s and 6s out there. So I hope we get to see some of that. Maybe he'll block a outside linebacker type at some point later in the game.
Yeah, let's see. It doesn't look well. That might be a game plan thing, because Alabama's not sending anybody his way.
Right, they're like, this guy's too
good.
Just
blitzing this side. They got the rushers coming on this side.
We're not even going to bother.
We're not sending anybody over here. They've been watching film too.
Hey, Nick Saban.
But the good thing about this is that he stays in this, like he doesn't float out. Sometimes you see guys just float out here when they don't need to.
Remember on Monday we were talking about the vertical set. Now, granted,
this is where you would use a vertical set. This is perfect. This is exactly where you would use it.
So they had 3 and a 5. So it kind of makes sense. You still got to block the end. But here, if there's no threat outside, this is textbook. I couldn't draw it up any better.
He has somebody to keep an eye on here, but he just keeps present so that you don't have any open space, and then he's locking them down. So he's going up against what is really a DT, but he's handling it, and he's handling it with the techniques are correct. He's using the right techniques in the right times.
If I'm nitpicking, I would like to see more of a punch from his left hand.
Yeah, I was going to say that too,
like clubbing or grabbing.
He's a grabber. He's a grabber. He's not a puncher right now. So let's see here. Sets flat again. Now, one thing, you don't want to hop like he hopped.
Yeah.
And that's where, when you look at his feet, when he does that hop, feet are right next to each other. Now, if this is a seasoned vet in the NFL, club move inside now.
Rawr.
Club move inside right now.
He's gonna go flying.
Right, because look at all this yummy green space here, and he's not even looking. Club move, because you got a running back who's chipping, it looks like anyways.
Yep.
Inside club and get to the quarterback. you know, but he's got the strength. He rebalances. He's got himself back in a good position. Got his hands, got this guy under control. Like that's like easy. I mean, it looks easy. It's not easy, but it looks easy. So I would say on that, watch feet. Give him a plus on this because of, the simple fact that he sets up everything well here. He sets over the top of the guy. He's got his feet flat. He just overreacts to this move.
Mm-hmm.
Look at his arm. That's what you don't want to be like this. Because you know what guys will do when you do this? They'll go right down the center of your chest.
Punch you right in the chest.
He'll go right down your chest. If you do this penguin shit, if you do this penguin shit, they will go down your chest on the second time that they see it. Because now you don't have, and really because he made that hop, that overreaction, the wide arms, now he has no balance.
Mm-hmm.
So he has to be careful. You got to be careful of that as a lineman because it really does put you in a bad spot to try and sit down on any secondary moves. And for those of you who are just jumping in here, this is Charles Cross, offensive tackle, Mississippi State. He is the second ranked offensive lineman in the 2022 draft behind Evan Neal. We saw some Evan Neal last on Monday, and they're playing in the SEC championship game, so a little bit different in terms of intensity for that compared to this. But they are playing. It's Mississippi State playing Alabama, so for them, this is the SEC championship
right,
game.
Yeah.
So they're playing their ass off. But right now, I feel like he's having he looks really good. Cross looks really good right here. I mean, I want to see him get challenged some more by the defense, but I don't know. I'm not necessarily sure why they're not really sending anybody his way. But let's keep moving. Okay, we didn't see the. All right, let's see what we got. Okay. So he does it again. So that's a constant thing that he does when he gets an outside rush. He opens that arm up and he reaches. So he's like reaching and smacking that arm over instead of like either holding it and shooting that inside arm and then following it up with it or shooting it now and then getting, because his inside is good. But that's the only thing I don't like about his game right now.
That's the only issue I'm seeing. Everything else, looks damn good.
He took a false step here, which, you can coach that out of him. But
yeah, I'm not sure if he got a read that he was going outside. I mean, obviously he has if he goes outside, he has contain. I will say 47 has his outside hand down, which is unusual for a defensive lineman if they're not going outside. Maybe he has a tell on that made him take that false step, but he recovered nicely. I haven't seen him have any issues so far. Just that bear hug with the left hand every time, it seems like.
Yeah.
But maybe he benches 500 pounds and he can get away with it.
Maybe he got that Larry Allen. I don't need technique. I just throw cats. So let's take a look here and let's see. He gets a little blitz here.
Yeah. Maybe an outside rusher this time. Here we go.
Okay.
And still
patient set. See, by the time he turns to the sideline, he's on his third and fourth kick here. He's on his third and fourth kick. And he doesn't even make contact till like his fourth kick. Shit. Which is pretty good.
Yeah, this
pretty good. He's got good hands. He's got long arms. He's sitting pretty low on that, and he's disciplined. He doesn't get spooked by that inside guy who comes running in, which that can happen. But it looks pretty good.
Yeah, I've got nothing to say there.
It looks pretty good. It looks really good.
I will say this: they're better.
Give me 1 second. Let me shut this dog up real quick.
Okay, go ahead. From what we've seen so far, I will say Mississippi State's better at blitz pickup than Alabama. More disciplined. We saw a couple instances of the back and the guard blocking the same player on a blitz, which is going to leave somebody.
They look like they're more. They look better on blitz pickup. They look better on games too.
Like they're actually practicing this shit.
Yeah, like they're actually practicing this shit. Like, yeah, we ain't number one in the country, so we got to practice. Like this here.
That was great.
Like his patience, waiting on it, and keeping like vertical. That's a vertical set right there.
Yep, that's exactly what we talked about.
Want.
Vertical set, inside hand up. Basically, the guy just runs into his hand, and then he's able to funnel him to his outside. This, I can't.
I mean,
yeah, I'm not sure how it could be much better. I guess he could have pancaked the guy. That would be better.
Yeah,
but
that's the only thing that would have been better there.
That's not realistic on a pass play.
Unless the dude jumps in the air.
Yeah. I guess he could body slam him and do a DDT. And this is great. All right, looks like it's another 4-eye. So
I mean, I look at this film and I think to myself, well, how did they lose? They look like they're doing pretty good.
Must have been some freaky shit in like special teams or something.
I mean, Alabama does not look that good on defense. I mean, I'm not seeing the speed that I thought that, it's not, it doesn't look as fast as it looks on TV.
Right. Maybe Mississippi State's pretty good all around.
Yeah, they've had improvements.
At one point, I think they were doing pretty well.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, it fell apart late for them.
Yeah. Okay. So this is him getting up on a backer, get a look at a little bit of his second level work. He's kind of high and kind of high there, but it's not. That's nitpicking. Okay, so this. Okay. This is something that you'll get coached to be better at. From a good old line coach will teach you how to do this the right way. Like what he should be doing here is he should be firing off. If this is his call. If this is the guy he has to pick up. This, because to me, I think that that backer is the front. That front side guy is the call. This is the call. So this is his. He's going to work through there. He needs to, maybe he posts a little bit here and then goes right, but he needs to break down right there. He needs to break down right. Well, not break down, but it's kind of hard because 14's playing just hanging back. 14 should be kind of going over this a little bit, just because if you're reading the ball, you should be reading to get over this. But this is his gap. So as the tackle, I would say maybe right here. Okay, yeah, this is a hard one. He's not playing. He's slow playing his head like a mug. So you would need to just close the distance here and get both hands on him. That's what I would say. Get your hands on him and then just work to run your feet, because he's slow playing it. And if he's slow playing it, then he's going to lose out, which he does. He doesn't really get in on the play.
He can't get it,
but
he'll just get an ankle. Yeah.
So I mean, that's a plus, but I mean, there's work to be done there.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to take too steep of an angle or go right at him, because I mean, he's a better athlete than you are. So I mean, he could set you up and then at the last second dart inside. Mm-hmm. But that being said, it's a decent job. He'll get better. Yeah, he'll get better at that. Those are things that look like that, because he doesn't necessarily know how to handle those types of things yet. Like this here, this is good. Like he sees his guy back out, and his eyes go back inside immediately. Those are little things that tell you he's a good offensive lineman. Yeah, very good awareness. Good awareness, because this is his guy right here, 31, best player in the country.
As soon as this guy declares that he's dropping, his eyes flash right because that means there's somebody coming here. The whole D line is moving his way. That's great awareness. I mean, and it's crazy. You think that linemen and you think O-lines pick that type of stuff up, but there are a lot. I mean, in college for sure, maybe not in the NFL, but in college, a lot of cats don't see that.
Right.
They get ear-holed by that looper.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how did you not see that? How did you not, like, as soon as your guy backs off, he's not coming, you get your eyes back inside.
Yeah. He's out there looking at the fucking slot. Like, when has a DN ever looked at the slot? Like, there's no reason for him to look out there unless he's got some type of coverage responsibility.
Oh, that's why they lost, because their receivers suck. But this here, again, he sees what's going on, and he closes down. That's easy plus there because,
no work for him to do.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of feel Cross a little bit more than Neal, just like purely from a technique standpoint. He looks way more polished.
Yes, I'll agree with that. I would like to see him challenged a bit more.
I would like to see him challenged, but I would like to see him challenged more.
The outside, like a more traditional rush, like he's going to be seeing in the league. But what I'm seeing so far is really good technique. And when he hits guys, I mean, they're generally
just sits on them,
stay where they are.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be his punch. He doesn't have a punch. I'll say that he just doesn't have a punch yet. But that's not to say he doesn't have, like, he's not able to, like, he's not using his arms. He is using his arms. He's just placing them rather than punching them, which he'll learn how to use those arms to shoot when he gets in the NFL. And then that'll make, I mean, you add that to his game. Can you imagine? I mean, because he looks good here, dude. Like, he sits down.
He's strong.
He's got bend in his knees. He's got good kick set. I mean, he looks like an NFL player here. I'm not going to front.
I mean, Jacksonville, don't you want this protecting Trevor Lawrence?
Hey, Jags, this might be the one. This might be the catch I need to grab, because he's over here. He's doing it right. I mean, you just got to coach him up on how to punch. And within the, this dude punching as an offensive lineman, there's so many little nuances that you can add to your game with punches that change things up. And, you don't know that stuff in college. You just put your hands out there and try and grab him, and that's what he's doing.
Hope he runs into me. He'll run into my hands, and everything will be okay.
Yeah, no doubt. Like, but this dude looks really good. His everything looks solid, like just polished. Like just he's on it.
I mean, it's pretty quick.
He's got pretty quick. He's pretty quick. Okay, let's see what he does here on the. Okay.
This is tough.
Almost a loaf.
These are tough. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, screens are a bitch.
Especially if you can't throw at the DB. I don't know if they
Well, it's one thing about screens is that, like, it's like,
but we would just throw and just roll.
Yeah.
And we need to get the guy's hand down for a split second. That's all I'm looking for.
See, they would tell me to cut, and I'd be like, "Look, Jack, I'm running full speed, 20 yards. You want me to just dive through his knees?" Like, and I did it one time. I did it against the Jets one year, and dude, I tore my entire forearm up on that dang on the turf, on the rubber, and that freaking DB. He, like, I don't know if he punched me or if he stepped on the back of my head. He did something to get off the block.
Damn.
And I was just like, damn, I think I might be concussed. Might be concussed. I'm not cutting no more. All right, let's look at this. Okay, so this one here.
Slight challenge.
Okay, this one's okay. Here's a slick little. Ooh, they ran the whole. They ran the end loop, the round the world looper.
Oh, we had a name for this back in the day. I can't fucking remember it.
I can't remember what we called it either. But that's tricky. And even with that, he breaks off. He gets a piece of it. I mean, I'm not You can't really. That's a hard thing because of how far that guy's coming from for you to really be able to maybe be ready for that when he's engaged like he is right here. But he comes off and he gets on the block.
He gets something on it.
He gets something on it enough to keep him from getting a hit on the QB, which is what you want.
And he's coming from so far away. It's as long as the QB gets the ball out in a reasonable amount of time, that's almost never going to cause an issue.
Yeah, yeah.
So getting anything on that type of stunt is fine.
Yeah, getting anything on that is fine. It's going to work.
Damn, what we call that shit? It's going to come to me later.
But I would say, I mean, right there, that was the right decision. You let the last guy come. The last guy comes free because that's on the quarterback.
Yeah,
they're getting a blitz here.
Yeah, they got more than you can block.
Oh, whoa. Whoops. Hold on. No, maybe not. Okay, so.
Oh, wait.
Technically.
No, they are wrong here.
Yeah, he's wrong here. He should be picking up that backer.
But. So, okay. On paper, this is the wrong guy. You got to have faith that fucking guard is going to block him. And he's not feeling he's going to bump. I'm not saying this doesn't make him right.
Okay, so right here.
In the league,
I think they ran.
Your partner's going to be right.
Okay, so yes. So he should be passing him to the guard and picking up him.
Yep.
Because the guard is passing this defensive tackle to the center. So this is the slide. They're sliding here. This is man back here.
Yep.
So slide, he should not be coming. He should not stay on there. He should be coming off to help. Coming off to pick up 8.
Yeah.
So that's a ME.
It's got to be a leap of faith. He's
got to trust your guy. It's 2 Jack. It's 2 Jack.
Hey. Next year, you all getting paid, so you got that, buddy. Just do your job. Don't do my job.
Yeah, exactly. So this play here, see, that's see, there you go. When he gets nervous, he does that hop. That's where his right there. Now he has no balance. He's already off balance.
And by not punching,
let's take a look at this. So he should just be coming.
Go ahead.
I think his first kick I think he's wrong on his first kick.
Yeah, it looks like his left foot is maybe at the same level as his right. So did he fall?
He squares up. His feet get too squared. So he's staggered right here, right? He's staggered.
And he doesn't play with a whole lot of stagger. Like we've seen some guys.
He doesn't have huge stagger, and I think that's good. I you don't want to be super staggered. You want to be staggered when you want to get a good stagger in your kick, but in your stance, you want to kind of be. You want to keep your toe, your outside leg, your toe of the outside leg should be lined up with your heel. That's how I feel. That should be the stagger distance when you're lined up. Now,
I'm with you.
The problem I see here with his first kick is that this isn't a kick. His heel is in the ground. His toe is off the ground here. So he's really not kicking. He's rocking back.
So he's going to have some weight on his outside.
So the weight is on the outside now. Now he does kind of sit under it, and he gets back kind of and he gets his bearings back real quick.
But I mean, right here, both feet are in the air.
As soon as he makes that outside move, now all his weight's back here.
Yeah.
All his weight is on his outside leg, and this leg is opens the hips immediately. Like he literally, what do they call that again?
We would say like swinging
gate or turnstile or like
that's good
he went
too.
Turnstile right here. Like he literally rotated on the right leg. He just rotated open. He's facing the sideline. His hips are wide open. Now his legs are crossed.
Yeah.
He's fucked.
Not a position you want to be in.
He is fucked right here. Like this is the worst position you could be in as a lineman, and he's got the long arm, so you can't even engage to hold him off. So I think that, and he saves it here. But this defense, I feel like this D end is not really like, dude, you got to run, trying to make the play.
Yeah, here's shaving points. He had him.
Now he does save it here, but that's a pretty bad situation that he was in. Like that's not how you want to look at that point, because you don't have any way to, you don't have any tools to use right now except to grab him and run him.
Yeah.
And if the quarterback doesn't throw the ball and hesitates, that's a sack.
Yeah.
So that's a minus on that one for sure.
He got caught flat-footed. Yep. I will say he gave good effort on the recovery, getting the hand on his hip to kind of push his feet out a little wider. But more often than not, if you find yourself in that position next year, it will be
you'll be giving up a sack in the NFL.
A major collision.
You'll be giving up a hit at the least.
Oh shit! Sorry.
Okay, so we got run block here. Let's see what he looks like in the run game. It's an art. Got good splits. Okay. That's actually a technique.
Yeah.
That is actually a technique he's using right there. I've used that. I remember the game. I used that against Houston, 2011. I'll never forget it because I broke a dude's leg on the next play.
Ooh,
pancaking him. But the play before that, the Houston Texans would do this kind of thing right here.
Mm-hmm.
And this would be J.J. Watt, and this would be their outside backer. And I mean, it would be on the right side, but he would try to shoot inside here. This was their blitz. He would shoot inside here. He would shoot inside here, and they would only do it whenever we ran like an inside zone. And they didn't have the backer coming off the edge, so they dog blitz us on inside zones on early downs, and we would get what we did was we got an extra big split on that play. We got an extra big split on the backside just because of them. And if he doesn't come towards me, what I would do is I would just sit in the gap and just wall it off.
Okay.
So I would meet him when he would stunt inside, I would make contact just like he does here, and then just sit down and just sit in front of him. And it was literally like 6 yards of space. And that's what he does here, which is actually a technique. That's something that we worked on. You get in front, you sit right there, you just hold them. Mm-hmm. And that's how you can. Damn, running back got smashed. But that's good. That's a good job of being aware of that. Knowing what the concept of the play is and how to maximize. A good run.
Count. Yeah, know where the numbers are.
It's another. I like seeing him from the front a little bit. I like what I just saw there. Even is that he's actually he's very aware on the field of what's coming. What he's facing. Like he's looking outside here, and that's good. That's what you want. That's called jelly back.
We said that shit too.
We call it jelly back, baby. jelly back. Ugh. Like he's not committing to this D end right here just because he's rushing to the inside. He knows that this blitz is coming from the outside, and he knows that he has to stay and he has to keep presence for this guy so that he can get settled and get ready and be ready to block. And that's big. That's helping your buddy, helping your teammate, like by just being there. He's got to arm up.
Because there's no sense in jumping your ass out there with this guy's 5 yards away still. I mean, he ends up not even touching him, but just the mere fact of getting his way. I mean, these DBs, they don't want to hit nobody.
No, they don't. But the only thing I would say on this is don't jump out there like that. See how he jumped out?
Oh, yeah.
Sit down. Just slide over.
Don't jump out at him. The same vertical set he did earlier.
Yeah.
He gets a little screwy with his feet.
And shoot that outside arm on him, and that's it.
Yeah.
He gets a little jumpy. That's the only thing that I've seen in his game that kind of, and then that chicken wing, that penguin wing that he got. Those are the only things that I've seen that really, You can work on those. Those are things you can be coached to be better at. You can coach that out of a guy. Wow, that was a terrible late-ass throw. Jeez, this dude was open forever. So now I see how y'all lose because y'all suck. Y'all's quarterback sucks. Because that was terrible. Jeez. Yeah.
Wow.
He threw that so damn late.
Probably couldn't believe it.
Let's take a look here.
Is it really open? Okay,
Okay, it's another good job of seeing it. It's a stunt. This is all this is a linebacker end stunt. Might as well be a TE. Make sure his guy gets it. He passed him off. It's exactly what you want.
Yeah. Man, they kind of telegraphed this.
Yeah, they did.
But they do a good job passing off nonetheless. I mean, you still got to do it. You know,
they telegraph it. You damn sure better block it.
I don't
know it's coming. You better block it.
I mean, I guess it's not a false step because you have to respect him if he blows. I mean, he could make a mistake and just rush.
Yeah, I would say
I got no problem with this. The second step's too big though, because he steps on the guard. He's gonna get himself in trouble there. That's really nitpicky. But this is good.
What my O-line coach would always tell me is just pick it up and put it down.
Yep.
Just pick this leg up off the ground and put it back down so that you're doing the motion. And if he makes a move, if he does a move outside, you picked it up and put it down and you push and then you kick back out.
Yep.
Like it's quick.
Because he's already
step up in it.
He doesn't have to move outside any further. He's already split the guy in half by a lineman.
Yes, he's already in the right position. He's already in a perfect relative position to block this guy. So you don't want to move too far inside. You don't want to jump outside. Pick this leg up, put it back down, and be set and ready to kick back. If this dude, he goes inside, you stay on your path. You stay vertical with the vertical set, and you send him off. So maybe the drift was a little bit too much there, but that would be the only thing that would even need coaching. But he knows what to do. You can tell that he knows how to handle that.
Yeah, everything else was good.
All right, let's get one more play in, and then we'll call it. We're right at the hour mark here. But definitely, guys, let me know if you like this. If you like these breakdowns we're doing, I'm going to clip this up and put it on the channel tomorrow. I'll put that up with the also with the Evan Neal stuff. I haven't done that yet, but we'll get that stuff on there for you guys to take a look at if you want to see. But I think right now, that's what I mean right there. Pick it up, put it down.
Yeah, if he would have did this on the last play, I think he'd have been in much better shape.
Yeah, let's pick it up, put it down right there. He even, and that's fine. He moved it 6 inches.
Maybe he can hear us in the past.
But look at this. Look at this. He's got his eyes right here, right? As soon as he sees this, his eyes turn. I mean, that's a little thing, man, but that's so huge on the pro level is to when you process a movement by a defender, which is going to take you to another guy to block. You have to, as soon as it processes, your eyes have to turn, and you have to get your eyes on. Because these guys are usually going to be. I mean, come on, this guy will be coming way faster.
Yeah,
in the league, that guy's going to be coming. Whoops, shit.
So yeah, when your assignment disappears, you should start looking for work. And in this case, I see a big old rack of juicy ribs hanging out, ready to be.
Oh man, that's where I turn and just lower my shit and just run. I don't even go. I get out of block. I get straight into run game mode and go run at his rib cage. I did that to a couple cats. They were mad at me. I literally got like 3 yards to go get them, and I'm looking. And then I just lower my shoulder and run at him and just.
Like, I've never tried to hurt people, but I want you to not rush as hard.
I want you to realize that if you come this way and if you come to my side,
but don't do this shit no more.
Again, you're going to get rib shotted.
Don't do this no more.
Don't come this way no more.
I would like to see that type of sellout. Try to lay a motherfucker out.
Yeah, and you'll learn to do that in the league too. They teach you the right way to do it because it's not just. I mean, when you're a savvy vet and you just kind of know when the cat's got his shit exposed, that's one thing. But you got to know that you can't just run up over there.
Yeah, there's not many chances you get to like really lay somebody out and like lay the wood to them. So when you see the big old juicy ribs hanging out,
all that flab on the side of his face when he over there struggling with the center and guard. Oh, okay, let's finish him. And you know what's gonna happen? Everybody who's blocking him right there is just gonna lay on top of him.
Oh, it's gonna be it's gonna be like dominoes. They all just
gonna be like dominoes.
There's not many better feelings.
So just as we wrap this up on this play here, again, I just like what I'm seeing from Cooks when he reacts. You know, I think that's clutch. You have to be able to do that. Now, everything else with this play, hey, Mississippi State, he's probably the only guy. He's probably the only guy going this year. He's probably the only guy going. But you know, it was a good job by him being there, being ready. Charles Cross being there, being ready to block, and he has a good awareness, really good awareness and reaction. I like his footwork. I like his posture when he sets. He's got very good set, a very good base. He's low in his set. He sits into it. He's got good hand placement. He doesn't really shoot his hands at all, but that's something that, you know, you can be taught to do. I mean, look, I think even with what you're saying, what you see in Evan Neal at Alabama, just looking at them as players and how they play it, I like Cross better. Right now, I like Cross better.
This kid is more polished. I think his game is more refined. He's more sudden with his movements. I wouldn't say that Neal's like lethargic or slow, but when this kid sees something and reacts, he's gone. There's no wasted movement. Very efficient in his movements. I would have liked to see. I mean, just the game plan. I'm assuming with all the 5 wide stuff that Mississippi State does, maybe they didn't want to send for every play. I would have liked to see a little more challenge against him. I think we only saw maybe 2 or 3 traditional, you know, DN types rushing against him. It was usually like a defensive tackle, essentially, kind of looping out towards him. Which I mean, I guess I think your strength.
Yeah, I think, you know, we didn't get a ton of traditional looks, but we did get a number of different situations that do give linemen problems on the collegiate level. And, you know, some linemen, you know, to a certain extent in the NFL, you know, there are, I don't know. For me personally, I feel like in the NFL that gives some linemen in the NFL problems as well, movement on the line. And he looked like a player who really reacts really well. He reacts to the movement really well. Now, where I think his struggle would be, and I say that these things can be coached out of him, is overreacting to things that he doesn't necessarily expect in that moment. He overreacted a few times, which his overreaction is a jump.
Yep.
And it is a jump that puts him in a bind. Now, he got out of it a couple times because he has, you know, he's a big dude, strong guy. He can muscle his way out of that. But in the NFL, you cannot muscle your way out of that. Not all the time. Because a lot of times at his position, he will be playing against the best athlete on the field.
Yep.
On both sides of the ball. And that guy is going to make you pay if you jump out and click your heels and penguin swipe at him. He is going to literally do the fucking Ryu. Oh, you can! And just club you out of the way.
Oh, shit.
You're going to go fly. I mean, I've seen it on film. I've seen it happen to cats.
Yep.
Where they just did one little, just too hop, too quick. And it was like, bro, if you didn't click your legs so close together, maybe you wouldn't have rolled after he hit you. But the simple fact that you jumped out wide like that because you got a little bit nervous, got surprised, you know, that ended up being your downfall because a really good defensive end they don't even like read it. They feel it. Once they feel you make that movement and they know, and the feeling is, oh, he just went way too far.
Yep.
Way too far. And then they get to work. He said, shit, I'm trying to get me an extension this year.
Hell yeah. Shoot. I mean, he's
no,
usually the second richest guy on the field.
Yeah. It's usually the quarterback than him.
That's the reason.
So, you got to be cognizant of that as as a person looking at this. Obviously, these are young guys who are college athletes. They're going to get a lot better in the NFL, hopefully. But I think that right now, just because I really wanted to compare these two offensive linemen and just kind of see what they both brought to the table. And Evan Neal has some rough edges, in my opinion, but he does have a talent and he has an attitude about him that is compatible to offensive lineman like demeanor. That's what you need. But if we're talking about technician, I'm sorry, then I feel like Cross is a bit more of a technical offensive tackle with a great level of awareness on the field. The things he was doing on the field, that leads me to believe that he understands more than just the front seven. Mm-hmm. And that is what makes a great offensive lineman, a guy who knows how to react because he knows what one movement means for the entire defense.
Yep.
And that is that's right now where we're at with these two guys, I think. And I mean, if you got anything you want to add on that in that regard, Justin, go right ahead, bro.
Just to piggyback, I mean, if you can understand, I mean, high school linemen probably just look at the guy across from you, maybe the guy next to him. In college, you should be looking at the front seven at least, because the entire defense is leaving clues, little things here and there. If you can pick up on them, to give you just a fraction of a second of knowing what's coming before it happens.
Mm-hmm.
And in those situations, you could tell that he reacts well when it goes as planned.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, when it's kind of like freestyling, got into a little bit of trouble, but was able to recover because he's, a better athlete than most of the guys on the field and strong as shit. So you'll be able to recover.
Long arms. I mean, he's got the measurables that give him the ability to have room for error.
Yep. So that's what he buys himself with good coaching. If he's already seeing that much of the field, I think just honing that skill a little better and a couple technical things, like you said, just getting that punch to really punch instead of grab and hug. Will make a world of difference. If this dude
learns how to punch,
look out.
If he learns how to punch, shit, because he's set up. I mean, his body position, his kick slide, everything looks good. If he learns how to punch, it's a wrap. He's gonna. I mean, that's gonna be a guy that's gonna be your. He's gonna be the fucking anchor of the line.
Yeah. With a punch, as strong as he is, if he learned to punch, that could buy him time for his feet. A proper punch. The things kind of feed off each other. If you can be in fantastic position every time, you can get away with not having a great punch. If you have an amazing punch, you don't have to be like directly in front of the guy.
You can make up for being out of position sometimes. Like
it's not going to work all the time.
It's not going to be all the time because position is so crucial. Like just knowing where you are against the defender you're going against is so crucial because there's only so much feet that you can give up before you're in a bad spot. You know what I mean? Like as a guard, I'm always like, if I got to take more than 2 hops on a bull rush, I might need to pull a stunt on this dude and do a lightweight, do one of those little like twists to like cut. It's a hold, but they don't call it because you're twisting. I'm just trying to get him on one leg so he stops. Shit. Because they get pissed, but you go, you have that. You got the pocket. The pocket is protected the pocket is set up with the depth by the interior 3 and the width by the tackles. And the tackles, to balance out that they're playing against a freakish athlete. You know, they got more room to work with vertically behind them.
Yep.
With the interior three, we got to hold the line. If you don't hold the line, they only got to go like 3 yards to get to the quarterback.
Right.
You know, so it can happen real quick and in a hurry.
Yeah, they play off each other really well. So that's why it's important, like you said, as the interior three, to maintain the depth of the pocket so the quarterback has somewhere to step up. You always hear, on TV, they always talk about, oh, you got to beat Tom Brady with interior pressure. Well, what they're trying to say is
you got to keep him from being able to step up into
run
his
up the field all he wants.
Yeah.
You see him a million times. Step up, 2 steps up, take a hitch, and just
launch it.
You're like, what the fuck? We're getting all these, great edge rushes. Doesn't matter.
The edge rush is only good. The edge rush thrives when the quarterback can't move anywhere because of the pressure coming up the middle.
Yeah. If there's nowhere
the quarterback can step up, he can always feel the edge rush and step up under it.
Yep.
And that actually makes his offensive lineman right, because now he's put his offensive lineman back in between him and the quarterback.
Yep.
But with the interior three, one of y'all gets whiffed.
So now I got to stand back here.
Just scream at him. Throw it!
Yeah. Now I'm backpedaling, and that DN.
You're backpedaling with the DN.
He's running less of an angle. He doesn't have to run the hoop no more. He can essentially just run maybe like a 25, 30-degree angle from where he is instead of having to bend.
And the tackle doesn't even know that the quarterback's there.
Yeah.
So the tackle is gonna think he has room to give, and he's just going. They're all going to the quarterback.
Yeah, you could be like, why the fuck are you standing right behind me?
It's like, God damn, what happened? But I'll never forget, dude. I'll never forget what happened to Blaine Gabbert his rookie year. Man, they ran a stunt, and I swear, it was on our rookie left guard, and he was terrible. Will Rackley, he was terrible. Man, he was bad. I mean, I remember games where D lineman would come up to me and be like, "Yeah, we know you good. We just game plan for the left for the young cat. We've been seeing him get worked on film all year. We just game plan the blitz on the left side." I'm like, "Shit, keep going. I'm over here.
All right,
over here 1-on-1, just locking this bum down, just sitting here all game." Shoot, but
you know this as well as me. It's a copycat league.
You know what I mean?
If one team sees that,
they bringing it till you stop it.
Yep.
I was like, damn, I don't never get no blitzes no more, huh? It's all good. You guys all right?
Over here just making a fucking sandwich. Yeah.
All right, guys. So that's going to be it for us here on Lineman Life Live. We will be back on Monday with another O-line breakdown. We're going to keep this thing going up until we finish with our top 10. Then we're going to rearrange and re-rank them based on what we see as actual offensive linemen. So make sure you are subscribed to the channel if you have not already done so, and hit that notification bell so you get notified when we get ready to go live. But until then, we appreciate you guys very much, and we will catch y'all on the next one. Peace.